Hi, welcome to Doris. In case if you're new here, my name is Doris. I'm a homeschool mom of four trying to take control of her finances. On my August mid-month check-in, I just have a lot going on. I have a news. I am going to be taking my CNA class to be certified as a CNA. I got accepted into the program up here. So I've been doing that, trying to get all my paperwork in order, background check, medical check, and things like that. My oldest, we decided to put her in public school. We feel like it was the best thing to do for her this year is to put her in public school. So we've been dealing with that as well. And it's just a lot of things has been going on that I just have not been able to do videos and post it, mostly because the editing takes a lot of time. So I have a lot of videos that I haven't edited. So, but we are gonna go through my August, May weeks because this is one important thing to me. It's my finances. To be able to get out of the hole I'm out of, I need to be able to control how much I spend and know what's coming in and what's coming out to just to help me better plan for the future, especially with expenses coming along. So this is what I did at the beginning of August. This is just my expenses. Um, right here we have my check one, and then up there I have what I think I might get for my income two and my child support. My child support is not really in my budget, but I put it on there because I am going to be receiving it every month. So when I do receive it, it does help a lot. So for my check two, I got 1053.67, and then for child support, I got 821.50 cents. So right here, the 4,260 some dollars. That is what I was hoping for my total, my projected income would be, including the child support. So now I'm gonna add all of that up to see what my actual income is. My income that I got for August was $3,638.69. So I'm gonna use this little pink pen. At the beginning of school, you always go to Dollar Tree and I always have these pens, and they come in a set of three. And I use this for my homeschool planning with my kids because they each get different colors. Now my oldest is, in public school. The honor code I can go to my younger one that's going to start year 0.5 this year. So I just love these. Look at now it's $1.25, but I'm gonna use that to color code right here. So it was 3,638.69. Okay, so that is what I have to work with for my bills. And then for my rent, it was this exact same amount, 580. Hopefully you can read that. Very bright. And then for my electricity, it was not that. It was 205.41. But this makes sense because Texas will ban have 109 degrees and I have to keep the air conditioner on all day and lower the temperature. So I expected that to go up after we started hitting the 100. So yeah. And then my Verizon, I actually didn't look at that. It's automatic payment. It was 140 something. I don't think it's one. Yeah, it is 148 something. So I'm gonna do 149. I think this is like a couple of cents over. Let me see. What was my August? So it's 148, 148.42. So that's what that is. I'm just gonna put because the same amount on there. And then my gas, I will come back to that because I need to add that. My prime was the same amount. My household, so for household, I bought, what did I buy? Let me see. I have my expense tracker up here. I started doing this now to see. I think this is the first thing I should have done to go in and see what is food and then what is something else. Okay, so Sam, this is gas. I'm gonna put gas in purple. But this is gas. It's on here. This is gas. This is gas. I guess I felt less this month since I didn't have any school. I did track all my spending this month. Every time I buy something, I will come in here and write it down. And then a smaller one to put into this right here. This is like a budget. What is it called? Budget envelope. I'm gonna start implementing it next month. I opened an Etsy shop, y'all. Look at that. I have my first $100 and I wanted to show y'all. I'm so proud of this. $100 cash. But I have an Etsy shop and I started selling these. So if you want to go check that out, and it's just really awesome. because I'm trying to make money on the side. But look at that, our logo and everything. But I'm gonna start implementing these into my budgeting next month. So I had this in the car and I had a piece of paper and I'm just writing stuff in there and then I come in here and write it in there. But I'm gonna have a better way to do that next month. I'm still trying to figure it out, just everything going out. I was trying to implement it this month, the whole thing, and just have cash in here, cash envelope or like fake money, because my kids have fake money for school. So I'm thinking of stealing that away from them and using that in here. That way I don't lost the money, because that's a fear that I have. So I'm gonna implement this next month. Follow next month instead of this month, because that's what I wanted to do it. But then with the application for the CNA interviews and things like that, it just took a lot of time away from implementing these. Okay, so I don't think I spent any kind of thing for household because I don't have it on there because I was keeping track. So there's nothing on there. And then for therapy, that is the same amount. And then for life insurance, it's the same thing. So for my natural gas, I spend 40. It's 52.07. And then for my Apple, it's the same thing. Kids allowance, I did not give my kids allowance this month because I just didn't. But I did set up an account that way they can have debit cards to shop because my kids lost money. They're just like the mom. Whenever they have cash, they lost money. So we do have I have an account set as a free debit card kids thing. And then for my food, I haven't go into that yet. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna come back into my expense tracker and just add all of those up. The first thing I'm gonna do is gas. My gas should be a little bit lower this month just because I didn't have college going back and forth. So I only filled up once a week. So this is right. And all I was doing was going to work and then dropping Abigail off at school, which is like 5 minutes away. Okay, the only thing up here on my expenses that I didn't have right here in August, not August, in July, I talked about my kids' tube fee and I wanted to save $700 for that because it was coming up. Well, the registration was in August and they had to make a payment on there because they have two different ways. One, you have to pay for national registration, which is due the day you register, and then local tube fee is what you pay throughout a year. You just have to have that before, like, I think like a month before the year's over with. So I did have to pay my national fee for that for registration, and that was 120 on there. So that was good. I had 200 out of from that. Also the other thing is from last month I had $889.17 that was left over. So I wrote that into this month. I didn't add that on here, but I should add that. But I have a note that said leftover right here. Balance from last month. I just had it sticking on here to remind myself, and I didn't use that. I will when I'm budgeting this month. I can add that into offset. So I need to add that into my total income on this one. So that was one of the things I spent for that. So I'm gonna add that on here for my ASG that I can add into my expenses. I'm gonna use a black pen. I don't know the color pen. Whenever I see, I just think about homeschool planning because I use it for years now. So it's just weird to me to use it for budget. So I spent 120 on it. So I already did American Average Girl, so I'm gonna take that out, and then I'm gonna do my gas first. So it was 49.32 plus 61.48 plus 68.41. So right now for my gas, I use 179.21, and I budgeted on there for my gas. I budgeted 360, and I know I'm going to stay on a budget because I have one more week. It's the third week of the month. It's like the 21st right now. I'm doing this video, so I know I'm going to stay on a budget unless something happens next week. But right now, I don't have anything planned. I don't have school or nothing like that. So we are going to put that, where am I gonna put that? I'm just gonna put it here, and then when I come back for my close out, I'm gonna put that right here. So that's 179.21. So what that is, I have 360. So I have $180 left over for this week. So I know I'm gonna stay on a budget. I'm so proud of myself, y'all. So this is what I just used. And for my food, which is my most expensive thing, is what I'm having a hard time keeping on a budget. But I think I did keep it on a budget because I did went to food pantry, and I got a lot of lentils, beans, and things I know we eat. I just told them I couldn't eat and what I could eat. That way I didn't bring on unnecessary food into the house that canned goods because we don't eat that. So when I went to the food pantry, I was like, if I take that, my kids are not gonna eat it because they're used to eating home cooked meal. So I just need lentils, anything that's like beans, rice, anything I can cook that don't have any kind of extra thing or pre-made thing. So I got like chickpeas. I got a bag of chickpeas, kidney beans. I got a 5 thing of different kind of beans, which is really good. And I got a bag of brown rice. Um, what else? I got something else. It wasn't a lot, but it helps a lot. Then I just incorporated that into my meals for cooking. And then a lot of the money I spent was mostly on fruit and vegetables because I just used this lentil and I had a bag of rice that I bought last month from Sam's. We usually last us 3 months for that, so that was great. And I had an oatmeal, which should last. Oh, I got a whole thing of oatmeal from Sam's. Now I get my oatmeal from Sam's last month. I usually get it from Natural Grocery, which is a little bit on the expensive side because it is organic, but I went to Sam's and have a same brand. I don't know if they have pesticides on it now, but I just got that, and I'll figure that out next month. Cause hopefully they don't. That's another reason I try to buy organic oatmeal because we eat that a lot with baked goods and overnight oat. But I was trying to cut my budget down, and I didn't really do research. So I'm just gonna use that, not research it, be ignorant right now, and then next month see if Sam's put pesticides on the oatmeal, because that's a huge thing for me is I rather spend the money now than spend it later in medical bills. So food. So my total for food right now is 451.82, which is great because my budget is $9. But with that is my pantry is empty, a little bit empty. So I know I'm gonna be spending my full budgeting amount or more next month to restock my pantry. But if I have money left over from here, I can just roll it over. But right now I am at 451.82, so that is great. Put that right here. So I'm doing great for that. And that is with 3 weeks, not 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I'm happy for that. And then I had to get cutting board. So I did use my household budget because my cutting board split in half. I had that cutting board for a long time. I got it from like IKEA one in Austin. And it was bamboo cutting board. I think they're 4 years now. Where was that at? TJ Maxx 43.28. And I'm 43.28. So I got it from IKEA. It was a bamboo board, and it worked great. Last week or the week before that, should have been in 3 weeks for the cutting board. I was moving myself in a job, and it just split into two. And I've been using those half. It was like this big, and it's very hard to cut stuff. And I just got mad one time. I just drove to TJ's Maxx and got a new cutting board, and it's a very heavy duty hardwood cutting board. So she lasts me 5+ years if I take care of it. And that was $43.28. It was on the pricey side, but I decided to just spend that money instead of worrying about a new cutting board later on or worrying about plastic. And it's very well made. So I'm gonna go and add all the details that I already spent to see what I have left. I'm trying to figure out this whole May week. It's just to keep me on track to know how much I'm spending. That's one of the reasons I want to do it like the middle of the month, not like 3 weeks after. But let add all of these up. My kids are watching show very loudly because they have the TV, and I told them to lower it down before I started this video. But kids on TV, my kids with TV don't really listen that much when it comes to TV because they don't have that much time watching TV. Because I'm very straight with how much hour they have a day for TV. When they're bored, I'm like get a book or something. So whenever they do have TV time, they go crazy. And then 120 for that. So I already spent 1302.18. Maybe I shouldn't have put that 120 in there because that's rolling over. But I'm going to add the 889 to that. So I'll just put that in there. So right now what I have spent, and I also actually got these right here. It was like $3 from what is it called? From Aldi's when I went up there to be able to use for budget, and I used my change. I have a change jar in my car that every time I buy something I had change, I'll put it in there, and I use my change jar, so it didn't come from my budget. Okay, so I'm gonna put that here, right here. So I spend that way I can remember 130218. So that is what I spend right now. And then my new income is going to be, I'm going to add up all I have right here, and I'm going to have my new income. Okay, so my new income was 3638. So this is my income. So this is my total income for the month of August. So then this little paper I have the 889.17. That was my leftover amount for July when I budgeted. And this include also my emergency fund, because I took $216.48 of that money and put it into my emergency fund. So I need to deduct that from my $889. So that is 216.43. And I also need to deduct my true fee, but then I'm adding into this budget, so I'm not going to deduct it. So I'm going to deduct that to see what I have left over. All of this is still in the same account. I do need to open another account for just my emergency fund to separate that, because when I look in the account, that was what I have in there plus my income. So I need to separate that. That way, every month when I budget, I'm not trying to subtract previous month emergency funds from that and figure that out. So we have 889.17 minus, not that plus, minus 216.43. So that's left with $672.74. This has been my new balance from last month. So then, what I'm thinking, whenever I'm done adding all of this up and see if I have left, or I'll just add that to the new balance, and then I'll just distribute it towards things I want to save. Right now, my goal is emergency fund, to fill that up, my emergency fund. So whatever I have left over of this money plus that, I'm thinking I'm going to add that into my emergency fund. So I take half of that, put into my emergency fund, and then the other half I can just keep that to roll over for next month budgeting, just because I don't know if I'm gonna get child support, and I don't know what my check is gonna be, because lately I haven't been working my regular hours with just all the things going on. Actually calling a couple of days, so I want to be able to have that to just roll over into that. Whatever I have enough, my goal is to have a month at ahead budgeting, because right now I'm half a month at ahead, so I want to be month ahead budgeting. So I'm just gonna keep rolling that over, and then splitting half into my emergency fund is caught up to what I want it to be, and then just keep rolling over with that. After I have my emergency fund filled up, my month and a half, then I'm gonna start working on paying my credit cards. I said right now I'm just gonna leave my credit cards not pay, and just let the interest incur and not spend more money on that. That way I can have all of this out, and then I work at paying my credit cards off, and just go from there. I mean, everyone have credit cards, right? Thank you so much for sticking around and watching the video. Please comment down below any suggestion you might have, such as what I can do better in my life and budgeting, like putting my money to my emergency fund and rolling it over was from a subscriber suggestion, and I realized, yeah, that was a good choice instead of me paying my credit card off. Because if I do pay the credit card off and I do not have money and I don't have child support, I'm gonna go back to using my credit card again, and I don't want to do that. So I took her suggestion and implemented that, because that makes sense to me. My goal in life is to learn and be better version than what I was yesterday. So I'm not gonna be able to accomplish that if I don't listen to advice being given to me by people that are more versed in life and have better idea than what I'm doing. So please do comment down. I do read the comment. Thank you and have a blessed day.